Yo, what up, MMA fans? It's your boy, the MMA Genius. And yeah, you know what I'm saying? I'm back at it again. Man, back to give. I know I'm kind of early on this shit, you know what I'm saying? But I got to give my UFC 126 predictions. Vitor Belfort versus Anderson Spider Silva. Forrest Griffin versus Rich Ace Ventura Franklin, and also John Jones versus Ryan Bader. Okay, now you guys, I want to break some shit down here. All right, like y'all all know, and for those of you that don't know me and never watched my videos before, you know I like to break shit down. I like to break stuff down. I like to tell if I think a fighter's going to win a fight. I like to tell why I think a fighter's going to win a fight. So if you're not interested in breakdowns or just overall, you know, just good old UFC, good old MMA talk, go to another video. Alright, check this out. I'm gonna tell you, man, I gotta say, I really had to be honest about this. I think that I'm gonna start off with Anderson Silva and Vitor Belfort first. I'm gonna start off with these guys, man. You know, a lot of you guys out there, you still continue to question the skills of Anderson Silva, and which I don't really know why. I don't understand the shit, you know. So what? You may not like the guy. He may be somewhat arrogant to you. He may be cocky, you know, just to he just may be too swift for you guys, you know. But if you ask me, he's not an arrogant guy at all. You know, so like I said, I know everybody's not gonna like you, and of course, you know, he's the champion. You know, it's gonna be the people who root for him, and those who root against him is gonna be the haters. But you know, you guys always try to put everybody against this guy, like everybody has a chance. Like, oh, GSP has a chance. Vitor Belfort, you know, Vitor Belfort can knock this guy out. Oh, he's gonna knock Anderson Silva out in the first round. He's gonna put the spider to sleep. He can't mess with the hands of Vitor Belfort. Man, let me break some shit down for you people, okay? Alright, I'm a huge fan of Vitor Belfort. I mean, damn, you know, as y'all know, I love fighters who go out there and stand up and know how to make it a stand-up fight. And I have to be honest, I'm a fan of the slugfest part of it. You know, guys just going out there trying to knock each other's head off. But I must say that I'm more of a fan of the technicality side. You know, I like technical fighting. You know, it's just it's better in my opinion. I understand some people like the brawling side. I mean, that's fun too. I really do. I love it. But I'm more of a technical type of guy. So now I'm not talking about Frankie Edgar type of technical, even though he does a great job. Shout out to him. I'm not a Frankie Edgar hater at all. You know, I'm not one of those guys who, I actually like Frankie Edgar. I think he's a great fighter, but he can be boring at times. But that's not the type of technical that I'm talking about. I'm talking about, obviously, Anderson Silva type of technical. So now let's put some shit together. Vitor Belfort is somewhat technical. He's not a sloppy fighter. Now, but what Vitor really has is speed. And guess what, man? Speed kills. And I know that's why a lot of people are riding with him right now. I will say that I think that Vitor Belfort has a chance in this fight. But Vitor Belfort has extremely heavy hands. Well, I'm not going to say he has heavy hands, but the guy knows how to punch. Of course he has heavy hands. That goes without saying. But what he just really knows how to hit you in the right spot. You know, all it takes is one hit from this guy. It could be lights out. And on top of that, he has speed. But I would have to give the technical side to Anderson Silva. Anderson Silva is far more technical than him. He can hit you at all type of angles, all kind of. He's the better Muay Thai striker, and he's the better boxer. So Vitor Belfort, we all know that this guy is known to be really, really freaking good at the beginning of the fight, like more towards the first 2 rounds. You know, stuff like that. You know, he might be gassed in the middle of the second round. He goes out, He tries to knock you out in the first round, and if he's not able to knock you out, he doesn't always go downhill from there, but sometimes he looks to go, get a little gassed. And we all know Anderson Silva has great conditioning. Anybody who tries to argue with that or tries to question Anderson Silva's conditioning and his endurance, you're an asshole. Anderson Silva has some of the best cardio I have seen in the UFC, period. And maybe MMA. This guy, he doesn't really get tired. He gassed a little bit in the Damian Maia fight, but like I say, he was a little rusty. He had took a long break. But not to get into all that, I like Vitor Belfort, but I'm not picking Vitor Belfort to win this fight. I'm gonna tell you why. The fact that Vitor Belfort gets tired, and this guy, he holds his hands, he throws fast combinations, just kick combinations, just straight forward, like almost like it almost looks like Dragon Ball Z type punches. You know what I'm saying? Just punch, extremely fast. Anderson Silva has speed. Now, I'm not going to lie and say that Anderson Silva punches harder than Vitor Belfort. I don't think he punches harder, but he's up there with him. Anderson Silva can knock you out. Just because he hasn't just went in there and knocked the guy out with one shot. Maybe he has back in the day, but I'm talking about this time right here. Anderson Silva can knock you out. Don't be mistaken, but Anderson Silva is just so technical. He does so much stuff. He likes to put on a showcase when he's fighting out there. And Anderson Silva can light you up with knees. He can light you up with kicks, as we all know. He can light you up with elbows, get you in that Muay Thai clinch and just put a clinic on you. Or he can submit you. You know what I'm saying? And these are things that Vitor Belfort has to worry about going into this fight. Because if he just goes in this fight thinking that, since I seen what Chael Sonnen did to Anderson Silva, I'm pretty sure that I can mix up my striking with some takedowns. Okay, you know what? That's a good way to think. But he has to also be for sure that he's going to come to this fight in shape. Because this is 5 rounds Vitor is supposed to be going here. You see what I'm saying? It's not 3 rounds. And if he's gassing in 2 rounds, what do you think is going to happen for 5 rounds? Because I don't think that Anderson Silva is going to knock out Vitor Belfort either. No, either. I don't see that happening. Anything's possible, but I don't see that happen. What I think is going to happen, I think that Anderson Silva is going to pick apart Vitor Belfort. Vitor Belfort maybe get a few takedowns here and there, but when he gets Anderson Silva on the ground, he's not going to be able to really dominate Anderson the way Chael did. You know what I'm saying? And what's going to end up happening, Anderson Silva may get him in a few submission attempts. It may look like he's about to be submitted. And who knows? Maybe he may not even get Anderson down. Anderson has a very good sprawl. You have to be a really great wrestler in order to take him down. Okay, you don't have to be the greatest, but you do have to be a great grappler, and you have to be a great. Look how hard it was for him to take Damian Maia down. I'm not saying Damian Maia is the greatest wrestler, but he took down Chael Sonnen and he submitted him. So he's not a terrible wrestler. You know what I'm saying? Anderson Silva has a very good sprawl, and like I said, I think all of that work is going to really going to take its toll on Vitor. He's going to get a little fatigued, and he's going to get a little laid back. And from there, Anderson Silva is just going to go to work on those legs. He's going to shoot in and out. You know how he does, moving around. He's going to be just sticking them all in the face, just jab in the face, who knows, all kind of overhands, uppercuts, hooks, just lighten them up, just lighten them up like a Christmas tree. Not doing really anything to knock him out, but just doing things to get him bruised and battered. And what's going to end up happening is this fight's probably going to end up on the ground again, and Anderson Silva may choke Vitor Belfort out or catch him in a triangle choke, so, or either this fight is just going to go to decision, because Anderson Silva is going to really pick Vitor Belfort apart. He's going to show you the difference between a world-class striker and a guy who is technical, but not on the same level as Anderson Silva at all when it comes to technicality. Not at all. Like I say, this Vitor Belfort does have some good hands. He's more technical than a lot of people. But like I say, the main thing Vitor Belfort has is speed and power. And that works against the average MMA guy. But when you're dealing with a guy like Anderson Silva that's just so talented and knows how to just open up his striking in so many different ways. He can fight in so many different styles when it comes to his striking. And you may say, if Chael Sonnen rocked Anderson Silva, Vitor Belfort is going to knock him out. Not necessarily. Not at all. So, like I say, man, I got to get into these other fights. I'm running out of time, but Vitor Belfort has a very good chance at beating Anderson Silva, but don't just keep a mind frame that, oh, Vitor Belfort is going to knock Anderson Silva out. It's not going to happen. And if it does happen, I'll be the first one to get on here and say, damn, this he proved me the fuck wrong. He proved me wrong. So that's what that is. I'm going to do this kind of quickly now. I'm going to go through these fights. I think that Rich Franklin is going to beat Forrest Griffin. Let me take that back. Hold on. I hope Rich Franklin beats Forrest Griffin. Hey, look, I like Forrest Griffin. I'm a fan of Forrest Griffin. He's not my favorite fighter necessarily, but I do like him. I don't have anything against this guy, but I just think he was kind of a little overhyped a little bit. But I still like him, and definitely not worthy of holding the belt for a very long time. I don't. Like I say, Forrest Griffin is a great fighter, but his chin is a little questionable. He doesn't have a terrible chin; it's a little questionable, and he fights a little drunk. He just has that drunk style. He's always punching himself in the face and kind of wobbling and punching. It's just a goofy style to me, man. But Rich Franklin, I will give the edge to Rich Franklin when it comes to power. Although I will say I think that Rich Franklin cardio is a little overrated. Rich Franklin has great cardio. Don't get me wrong. But I think that Forrest Griffin cardio was a little better than, I don't really see Forrest Griffin ever. I mean, the only time I've really seen him gas was in the first Stephen Bonner fight. That's it. I can't really remember. Forrest Griffin has great conditioning, and the guy can go. I mean, he doesn't really get that tired, when it comes to fighting. So I will give him the edge in cardio and everything. But Rich Franklin has the most power in my opinion. And I think Forrest, to be honest, this fight is so hard to pick to me because I want to say that Rich Franklin could possibly knock Forrest Griffin out. But honestly, now that I think about it in my head, I really don't see that happening now that I think about it. I think that Forrest Griffin may win this fight now that I think about it. Man, I think that Forrest Griffin may win this fight the same way he beat Rampage. Honestly, even though Rich Franklin is not as flat, he's not nearly as flat-footed as Rampage is, but I don't really see I don't see Rich Franklin being able to take Forrest Griffin down at will. He's not going to submit Forrest Griffin, and who knows, Forrest Griffin, he's I'm sure he doesn't want to get knocked out again, after he got knocked out by Anderson Silva. I'm pretty sure he took a long break, and I'm pretty sure he's been working on some stuff. So I think maybe Forrest Griffin may win this fight by decision. Really, picking, Rich Franklin apart when it comes to leg kicks. I think he's going to win this fight due to leg kicks. I don't know. It just came in my head just now. I think that Forrest Griffin is probably going to beat Rich Franklin. Just by leg kicking the shit out of him. Throwing his punches. I see this being a really great, entertaining fight. Like I said, I hope Rich Franklin wins. He has all the tools to win. You can't count anybody out in this fight. This fight is up in the air. It can go either way. Like I said, I'm a bigger fan of Rich Franklin. I really like him. Very humble guy. So is Forrest. I really like these guys. Very humble in defeat. And this is one of the type of fights where you just don't really want to see anybody lose. But I got to go with my boy Rich Franklin. I want to see him win. But I actually think that Forrest Griffin is going to win this fight. So that's just what it is. Now, when it comes to Ryan Bader and Jon Jones, I think way too many people are counting Ryan Bader out. Okay, Ryan Bader is I'm not going to say he's a very skilled fighter, but he's a very good fighter. This guy's undefeated for a reason, man. He has great wrestling, and he has a very powerful, hard overhand right. He kind of reminds you of a bigger version of Koscheck almost. You know what I'm saying? But if you ask me, he fights a little smarter than Koscheck. You know what I'm saying? But this guy's a great wrestler, man. I don't think he can beat Jon Jones at wrestling, of course. But Jon Jones, what makes him seem so different from other wrestlers and what makes him stand out is he's like almost like a freestyle wrestler. You never know what kind of way this guy's going to take you down. He may decide to scoop you up with a double leg takedown, a single, or he might decide to put you in a clinch and foot sweep you like he did Matt Hamill, or he may want to suplex you like he did Stephen Bonner. Or, you just really never know what this guy's gonna do to you. He may knock you out with one elbow the way he did Brandon Vera. Could be a spinning back elbow, knock him out. But like I said, I think this is gonna be a very hard fight for Jon Jones. This is the fight that's gonna make him go to the next level, in my opinion. Like I say, I don't want to count Ryan Bader out, but I gotta go with Jon Jones. But Ryan Bader does have a great chance of winning this fight. He has a great chance of landing something extremely hard and knocking Jon Jones out. And that's the only way I see him winning this fight. He's not going to out wrestle John Jones.